Best of r/entitled parents episode 111. Subscribe for Reddit videos daily. This is probably not the right subreddit to post this, but I don't care. So this happened about a week ago and I'm still mad about it. So my dad had just picked me up from school and he and my brother were arguing in the car. Typical Friday. So I'm asking my dad about going to my friend's birthday party and he asks if there's an invitation. I say yes, but there's nothing on it. I can tell him and he'll probably lose it. He starts telling me to hand it over, and when I don't he starts yelling for me to hand it over or I'm grounded. My brother's pissed already, so he starts yelling at dad to just shut up. Well, my dad doesn't take this well and tells him to shut up. This goes on for a minute until my brother says shut the frick up. He didn't say frick. I finally tell everyone to shut the hell up. Keep in mind this is just before Christian State Youth Convention. Sick. So my dad, being the great person he is also a pastor at my church, says I shouldn't go because I clearly don't love God. My bro then says something to which my dad responds with "you suck." I try telling him since he's a pastor he shouldn't say those kinds of things. He responds with "so, you say them as well." I respond "yeah, but you're supposed to help us to not say those things and help us through hard times, not tell us we suck." He didn't talk much about until home. When my mom asked him about it he said I still stand by what I said, you suck. He ended up apologizing, but not really, because it was kind of I shouldn't have said what I said, but I stand by it 100%. He hasn't brought it up since and he's been unusually kind to us. I know this isn't as exciting as most posts, but I hope you like it. Thank you. Next. Where I live we had an immediate school shutdown, which was supposed to be for 2 weeks. 600,000 students have to stay home now, and we get this gem. Neither her or her husband are integral to operation, and I'm sure she thought sending an email to the specific school titled WTF was going to do anything, rather than the school district, city, county, etc. regarding emergency child care. I don't think anyone responded, but I really hope someone got a bit snarky and did. And then 2 days later the governor announced the shutdown is going to be almost 2 months. We haven't gotten an update email from her yet. I feel a little bad for her kid. Edit to add. For those commenting on it, no, she is not in need / a recipient of any helping hand programs. For families that are in those programs and receive bags of groceries for the weekends and vacations, they will continue receiving them, as well as lunch and breakfast being available for kids like they would during normal school. But since it has to be to-go bags, the entree menu is almost all cold lunch like sandwiches. I don't know if this is all local school districts, but I'm glad to say ours has a fairly nice outreach when someone needs help. Thank you. Next. My boyfriend's father recently announced that he plans to retire in a few months and hand over the reins of his company to his right hand, i.e. his daughter and my BF's sister Shania, name changed. She has been working with him for over a decade and has played a pivotal role in growing the company. She's an astute business person and everyone agrees that she is the ideal candidate for the job. Everyone except boyfriend's paternal uncle, entitled Uncle. To know more about him and his problematic views on gender roles, go to my post history and sort by top, and his wife entitled Aunt. When they heard about this they were horrified. How dare his brother put a woman in charge of his business? How could they overlook their son, BF's cousin, who was obviously more qualified for the job, by virtue of having a penis? They didn't say it in so many words, but this is pretty much the gist of it. The uncle's son was denied a job at the company years ago on account of his erratic behavior and general ashlery. Back then, the uncle insisted that his son should just be handed a cushy job at the company simply because he was family. Now the uncle had the gall to expect his brother to make him in charge of the company when he steps down. His reasoning is that only a man should inherit the family business and that it just wasn't a woman's place. The uncle actually seemed way more upset about his niece getting the job than he was about his son not getting it. He and his wife kept repeating the same nonsense about how it was a huge mistake to put a woman in charge when male members of the family were available. BF's dad tried to explain to them why Shania was suitable for the job and the EU's son wasn't. However, it's notoriously difficult to reason with bigoted shitheads. They refused to listen and actually suggested that BF's dad take their son under his wing and teach him, because he's so smart and he can learn really fast. He'll run the company way better than Shania, you'll see. Also, since your son, i.e., my boyfriend, Isn't man enough to be your heir? You should give our son a chance. They kept making ridiculous arguments like, what about when she gets married? She'll change her surname. My boyfriend's dad tried to explain to them that whether she gets married and changes her surname or not is entirely her decision. And if she does, how on earth would it affect her business acumen and leadership skills? When my boyfriend's dad and sister shut them down, they changed tactics. Yesterday evening, BF received a call from his aunt. She went on an insane rant about how my boyfriend's dad didn't know what he was doing. She then tried to provoke my boyfriend. She told him since he was the son, it was his natural right to succeed his father and he shouldn't let his sister rob him of it. My boyfriend told her to never dial his number again and hung up. These assholes knew very well that my boyfriend has never been interested in his dad's business. But I guess since their son wasn't getting to run the company, they decided to try to provoke a feud between my boyfriend and his sister, because they're the kind of sad, bitter little shits who just cannot see other people happy. Thank you. Next. Recently, users in r/ask Reddit have received messages from spam accounts claiming they won a gift card in some contest. These accounts usually contain mod in the username, and start their messages by saying our Reddit team chose you for our monthly raffle for a $100 gift card, yay, to trick people into thinking it is an official subreddit contest. If you received a message like this, please do not click on the link or reply to the account as this offer is not genuine. Additionally, please report it to the admins here so they can remove these spam accounts from Reddit. r/ask Reddit does not run contests like this, and official messages from the subreddit will be sent from r/ask Reddit, not individual user accounts. Thank you. Next. This is a quickie. It happened a couple days ago, on Wednesday in the middle of the coronavirus shopping madness, and before I do anything else, let's meet the cast of our wonderful misadventure. EM. Karen. IK. Innocent kid. Me. Well done. It's me. B1. Bystander 1. B2. Bystander 2. B3. Bystander 3. Alright, now let's get into it. So, a bit of backstory. I live in a decent sized suburban area about 45 minutes north of Los Angeles, and this is not the first time I've run into an entitled parent. It's happened several times in the past. Scroll through my account to find my older stories of my other encounters. And it happened at the same store as the one who tried to take my rice. Older story from about 6 months ago. I was shopping for supplies because I thought it would be a good idea to get some toilet paper, canned goods, and other food and stuff while it's still on shelves. I saw pics and videos of empty Walmart and Costco shelves. Now there's actually a limit to how many packs of toilet paper a single customer is allowed to buy at a time. At this store, the limit was 6 packs until today, when it went down to 4 per customer at a time. I picked up some canned fruit, canned beans, canned soup, canned chili, you name it, I grabbed it, because I didn't want to not be able to buy any of this because everyone else got to it first. Now after I grabbed the canned goods, I picked up a few other things and headed to the toilet paper aisle. As soon as I put about 4 or 5 packs of toilet paper in my cart, there was about 12 left on the shelf. When I was done, I hear a loud ahem. Damn it, I knew it. A wild Karen appears behind me with her poor innocent kid, who looked to be about a year or two younger than me. I'm 16 for reference, in tow. EM, excludes me. Me, yes, how may I help? She had the audacity to cut me off. There were 3 other people in the aisle. EM, can you give me your packs of toilet paper rolls? Me, really confused because there was still some on the shelf. UHH. Why? There's still some on the shelf. She cut me off again. EM, I know, but I don't want to reach up on a dirty shelf to get my toilet paper, and you already have enough stuff anyways. Why do you even need it? IK, Mom, can you please stop? I can just grab some. She cuts off her kid because apparently he wasn't supposed to intervene. EM, no, we will get our toilet paper from this young man. Points at me, and that's the end of IT. Just then, B1 walked by and said, if you even dare, I'll have security escort you out. Grab your own toilet paper, BH. B2 and B3 blocked the aisle in case she tried to run. And I forgot to mention earlier that these people recognize me because I always run into them across town and at this store occasionally. EM just huffs angrily and has her kid grab 6 packs of toilet paper, and then when he drops them accidentally, I offer to help him pick them up, and when I do, Karen makes a move. Apparently she wasn't listening to B1 and tried to take my toilet paper and a few cans of food. B2 and B3 were still there blocking the aisle, and B1 saw it happen. I heard a commotion behind me when K and I are done picking up the toilet paper and I see EM screaming at the bystanders telling them to let her through because she has places to be and things to do. Who cares? B1 calls for security, and they drag EM out while she still has my supplies. They come back with my supplies, I pay, and then I leave, but not before thanking the bystanders who stood up for me when I was distracted, and making sure IK was alright, because when I got out of the store, he looked like he just got screamed at. Let's just say someone in the parking lot was fighting with Karen when I left. Not as short as I said it would be, but short compared to some other stories on this sub. Nobody got hurt, and I guess this story has a happy ending. IDK. Seems kinda neutral. Thanks for reading though, and everyone please stay safe and healthy while the coronavirus is going around. Thank you. Next. This came via a friend of a friend and was too good to keep to myself. Fof is a teacher in a school. Obviously, like half the planet at the moment, we're all being given very strict instructions to wash your hands all the time otherwise you might die. This is being enforced stringently in schools. EP comes barreling into the school office, demanding to speak to someone in charge. She's gone full Karen. Apparently, her little darling had returned from school the previous day and told her that there was absolutely no soap in the school toilets. She'd tried every single dispenser and they were all empty. School secretary is diplomatic, saying something along the lines of "I'm not saying your daughter is wrong, but I find that very hard to believe. The toilets are all restocked at the end of every day, and it's surprising that every single dispenser is empty, but I'll get the head." Head teacher comes out and makes soothing noises, and says to the child, "Take me to the toilet you were using and we'll check it out." So they toddle off to the loo and the child demonstrates. She walks along the line of dispensers waving her hand under each one in turn. Nothing happens. "See," she squeaks proudly. "They are all empty." EP now launches into a tirade. She works in healthcare. Don't they know the risks? Her child could die and they are failing to protect her. She will take this all the way. The education department will be informed. MPs will be contacted. She will take this to the papers if she has to. At which point the HT steps forward and points to the large button on the front of one of them, before pressing it. Sure enough, out comes the soap. Insert child name. These aren't automatic. You have to press a button. You've always had to press a button. You've been here 6 years. How have you been washing your hands until now? Child goes bright red, mother starts making squeaking noises. HT calls meeting to a close. "Mom, your child is spoilt idiot and her hygiene routine is f***ing shocking. Thank you." Next. So I was sitting at a McDonald's in the back of the car because both of my parents were there and we don't go there very often, like maybe once a year at my mother's house. So I don't believe that my mom knew everything about the place. So we ordered our food, I don't remember what it was, and pulled up to the window, or at least we thought we did. I'm pretty sure we pulled up to the wrong window because there were 2 at this McDonald's and we didn't hear what window we were supposed to go to. So after sitting at the window for about 5 minutes, my mom instead of walking into the building decided to call the McDonald's right in front of us and then an employee quickly rushed to the window that didn't have anything there, which I feel would have been a dead giveaway that we were at the wrong window. I just felt embarrassed as I sat in the back of the car as my mom vented after not getting food. This story isn't as intense as some other people's, but I still think it was a bit embarrassing for that to happen. Too long, didn't read. Mother gets mad over McDonald's from self-done mistake.